So firstly, I am so glad to have Mr. Karan Kakkar with us today for this webinar. And he is an international nutrigenomics and disease reversal expert and is based in India. He is an expert in holistic nutrition and also associated with American Fitness Professionals and Associate, that is AFPA. Glad to know that he is also an author and is upcoming with a book, Reversing Diseases with Habits and Not Diets. His passion in medicinal nutrition led to the birth of Reverse Factor, which is backed by extensive research in the field of nutrigenomics. And what is nutrigenomics? It's the scientific study of interaction of the nutrition with your genes. So nutrigenomics has revolutionized the world of prevention, treatment, and reversal of lifestyle diseases. And we are so happy to have you here and glad to know that he is the personal consultant for celebrities like Mr. Mukesh and Mrs. Neeta Ambani and Mr. Bajaj, and who's the automobile tycoon of India, and also the Birla family. We are so glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so Sanya ma'am, the screen is all yours.
Perfect. Before I think, thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And before we share the presentation, I want to inform few things to all of you. We are, I think, more than 65 people here today. And I really want all of you to understand a couple of very, very important things, which can really have a meaningful and positive impact in each and every one of yours life. So first and foremost is that one of the most important thing for all of us, is that when we are in our 60s and 70s and 80s, we should be fit, fine, healthy. There is nothing more important than the fact that when we are aging, when we are 65, 70, 75, 80 years, we should be fit, fine, healthy. That is one thing which should be the goal of each and every one of us. Point number one. Point number two, one of the, the only thing that will help us to achieve that, the only thing that will help us to be fit, fine, healthy in our 60s and 70s and 80s, the only thing is our habits, right? It is habits that really help us rather than any diets. You know, my request to all 70 people, all 70 of you, my request to each and every one of you is that we should never ever do any diets. Okay, we should never ever do any diets, because it is not sustainable. Diets are not sustainable. It is not long term. But the only thing that is long term and that will help us is our habits, which is very, very important. Okay, and that is something which I really want all of you to understand, because it is absolutely possible. And we see this every day in our practice when I talk to different patients. It is the right awareness, the right knowledge, and the right knowledge, the right awareness, and right habits. If they inculcate all of that, they can be absolutely fit, fine, healthy as they are aging. So that is one thing that we really need to understand, right? So with that thought, let us take this session ahead, and let us begin today's presentation. So I will be sharing a short presentation with all of you. I request Deepika ji to, if you can just make me the co-host, so that I can, mute people and unmute people if they want to ask any questions. Yeah.
Sure, sir. So, dear admin, please make Karan sir the co-host and put everybody else on mute. There is a lot of disturbance coming in.
Perfect. So let us begin with today's session. So there's a short presentation which I want all of you to understand. And in case you have any questions, you can feel free and ask in the chat box. Okay, you can feel free and ask in the chat box so that I can answer your queries. But the idea is that we have to understand, in terms of what is right and what is not right, right? So with that thought, let us begin today's session. So what are we expecting out of today's session? So number one is, long-term and short-term health, as I told you. Important is, a lot of people come to us that, yeah, we want to lose 10 kgs in 2 months and 15 kgs in 3 months. That is not a good idea. Always remember, the important thing is that we should be fit, fine, healthy from inside. And as a byproduct, we should be losing weight. Weight loss is just a byproduct of becoming better. There are a lot of ways in which you can lose weight. All right, you just have, if I tell you, just have fruits, you just have soup, you will lose weight. But that is not the right way of doing it, right? That is not sustainable, that is not long term. So focus should be on creating a good system. Okay, the focus should be on creating a good system rather than just focusing on weight loss. All right, that is very, very important. So that is one. So another thing which I really want all of you to understand. So number one is focus on long term rather than short term health. Next, as I told you, we will not do any diets. Okay, we will not do any diets. We will focus on right habits. Okay. So we will focus on right habits rather than doing any diets. So that is another thing which I will be sharing. What are healthy habits? All right. So what are those healthy habits that we really should inculcate in our practice? So today's most audience are based in Chandigarh, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
So there is something known as drumstick. Are you aware what is drumstick? वो जो सांबर में होता है ना डाठा, जो the drumstick, moringa or drumstick.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you call that in Chandigarh? Do you call drumstick, or is there moringa, or is there any other name? Drumsticks only. Okay.
Drumsticks only, yeah.
Great. So drumstick is one of the super food when it comes to immunity. All right. Excellent for diabetes, excellent for blood pressure. It has unlimited amount of calcium. All right, which is very, very good when it comes to overall health, right? So having drumstick as a part of our normal day-to-day routine, yeah, it is a habit, not a diet. All right, so simple habits, but if you practice every day, it will really help us create long-term good health. Number four is, after understanding what are healthy habits, the other thing that we will be sharing with you is how do we influence immunity. Everybody since last 1.5 year is talking about immunity. So how do we build immunity? All right, how do we apart from, what are those foods which will help us build immunity, right? So that is something that we will understand. And last is, there are a lot of simple, common women-related issues that we will be discussing with you, and we will be sharing a lot of solutions to most of those common issues when it comes to women health. Yeah. Next, so the science that we practice is known as nutrigenomics, that how nutrition can actually change our genes. Okay, so broadly speaking, there are two types of disease. Number one is acute disease. Number two is chronic disease. Now, acute is more infection driven, like polio, malaria, dengue. Another is lifestyle disease, which is high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, joint pain, and all of that. Now, 100 years back, we had more of infection disease, very less lifestyle disease. But last 20, 30, 40 years, lifestyle disease has become an epidemic. Every house has someone suffering from blood pressure, diabetes, joint pain, arthritis, all of that. Now, why has it become an epidemic? Right? There are a lot of reasons. Look at the problem. 1920, 1930, death in India because of lifestyle disease was 10%. But 2015 statistics, death in India because of lifestyle disease was 67%, which means that if 60, which means if 100 people are dying, 67 die because of lifestyle disease. That should not even exist in the first place. All right. So there has to be a solution, right? So what do? We are aware of the statistics. Let us look at the common. Let us look at a common statistics with respect to lifestyle disease which are prevailing, especially the Indian statistics. Let's look at the Indian common statistics. Every 33 seconds, someone in India dies because of a heart attack. Okay, 3 out of 10 Indians have high cholesterol. 40% Indians have joint pain. 1 in 3 have high blood pressure. 1 in 5 have fatty liver. In fact, we see so many young people these days, 32 years, 33 years, suffering with fatty liver, which is not a good sign. All right. Child obesity in India has gone up 100% in last 30 years. So we know that statistics, is really not welcoming, and it is really something where we really have to act and improve this. So what do? What is the solution? All right. So the solution of this epidemic is not another pill, but the solution is our lifestyle. Okay. In fact, this morning I was talking to someone, 17-year-old boy, the first patient who came today morning, 17-year-old boy, his weight was 107 kgs. Okay. Now this boy, 17-year-old boy, he has Red Bull. Do you understand what is Red Bull? That energy drink. He has Red Bull, 3 Red Bulls every single day. Okay. Now he thinks that Red Bull gives him energy. Red Bull is good, but he doesn't realize that Red Bull has a lot of sugar, and that sugar and fat is very, very related. All right. He has junk foods, he has processed foods. Now imagine if this boy, 17-year-old boy, as he grows up 25, 30 years, and he doesn't change his lifestyle, doesn't change his food. Okay, imagine he will develop fatty liver, diabetes, cholesterol, and what will he do? He will end up having medicines, right? But not change his lifestyle, not change his food. So the answer that will he be able to reverse his disease ever? No, because the root cause of his problem was his lifestyle. All right, it is very unfortunate that we have been told that issues like diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, fatty liver, thyroid, that once you start medicines, you have to take medicines for rest of your life. It is not true. The truth is that all of these, diabetes, cholesterol, fatty liver, thyroid, kidney problem, these are lifestyle disease and not lifelong disease. So once we improve our lifestyle, our food, we can not just prevent but reverse most of these diseases, right? So with that thought, let us understand any food on this planet can be divided into 3 broad categories. Number 1 is animal food. Number 2 is packet food, processed food, and number 3 is plant foods. I want all of you to type in the chat box and tell me which one of these 3 is the best according to you. According to you, which one of these 3, plant, animal, or process, which one of these 3 you feel is best for human beings for creating good health or reversing disease? So Dipali says plant foods. Okay. Jaidev says plant foods. Himanshu says plant foods. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So most of us understand that plant foods are comparatively much better compared to processed and animal foods. Now let us understand more in details. Animal foods means non-veg and milk. Milk is animal protein. Processed food, anything that comes in a packet, bhujia, chips, kurkure, cornflakes, biscuit. Plant food is that nature has given us, like fruits, vegetables, sprouts, rajma, chola, all of that. All right. Now, scientifically proven that animal food and packet food increases lifestyle diseases, whereas plant foods reverses lifestyle diseases. Okay, So when it comes to reversing disease or creating immunity or creating good health, it is plant foods which helps us a lot compared to processed and animal foods. Now why? We have to understand everything. So why is plant foods much better? So there are a lot of reasons, but the top two reason is number one, antioxidant. You know what is antioxidant? एप्पल को काट के बाहर रखो, काला हो जाता है. भुजिया ब्रेड बिस्किट को काट के बाहर रखो, वो काला होता नहीं है, because apple has life, living cells. So anything that has living enzyme, you know when oxygen interacts, oxidation happens. So there is oxidation which happens in our body. So we need a lot of antioxidant. So in this three category, where is antioxidant found? Antioxidant is found only and only in plant foods. There are living cells. So that is where you find a lot of antioxidants. Okay. Second, and very, very important, is something known as fiber. People who eat enough fiber, they don't get diabetes, they don't get overweight, they don't get heart issues. Lifestyle disease is very less when you eat a lot of fiber. Where do you get fiber? Fiber is found only and only in plant foods. Animal foods and processed foods have negligible or zero fiber. Plant foods are loaded in fiber. So there are many reasons, but the top two reason is why we should have more plant food is a lot of fiber and antioxidants. Okay, now, so my first message to all of you is eat more plant foods. All right. Now we all talk about immunity, right? Let's move on. So another way to look at food is macro and micronutrient. Macro is protein, carbs, and fats, and micronutrient is vitamin, minerals, and there is something known as phytonutrients. Yeah. What are these phytonutrients? Phyto means plant. All right. So phytonutrients means all the different foods that have different colors. So red, yellow, green capsicum, broccoli, purple cabbage, a beetroot. So the more colors you eat, the more nutrients you get. All right. So there's a big study which showed that around 74% people don't eat enough red, 69% people do not eat enough green, 83% people don't eat enough white, 80% people don't eat enough yellow. So when you have different colors, you get different compounds which can help reverse disease. So for example, let us look at white. So there is this compound known as EGCG allicin, if you can see in front of you. So allicin is a compound which is found in garlic, which is very, very good for reversing fatty liver, very good for anti-cancer. Look at green. The last word in green is sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a compound which is found in broccoli, which is very, very good for reversing diabetes. Broccoli is very good for gut health. So when you eat different colors, you get different compounds which can help reverse disease, and this is so powerful when it comes to medical nutrition. So the one of the things that we really need to understand is lunch and dinner is normal ghar ka roti sabzi dal chawal. Okay, but what we eat apart from lunch dinner is very, very important. Okay, so for example, we have two individuals, Mr. A and Mr. B. Both are having same lunch and dinner. Okay, but Mr. A, when he gets up, he has subah chai biscuit, then poha bhujia, then lunch, evening again chai biscuit, and dinner. Mr. B, he gets up, he has morning seasonal fruits, papaya, banana, pomegranate, any one or two fruits. Then he has sprouts. Then he has same lunch, but before lunch he has a bowl of salad, broccoli, bell pepper, carrot. Evening he has any one fruit and pumpkin seeds and chia seeds. And dinner, same dinner, but has a bowl of salad or a soup, and after the dinner. Mr. A and Mr. B both had same lunch and dinner. But apart from lunch and dinner, one person ate nothing good, only chai biscuit, poha bhujia, chai biscuit. And the other person ate lot of plant foods, lot of colors, lot of fiber, lot of phytonutrients. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Any of them, were they doing diet? None of them were doing diets. But one person was eating consciously, he was aware of the right habits, and that is what we need. So my second message to all of you is, first message was eat more plant foods. Second message is eat more colors. More and more colors, different colors is what will really help you reverse disease and build immunity. Okay. Next, there is something known as pH scale. Now 0 to 14 is the scale, 7 is neutral, 7 to 14 is alkaline, 0 to 7 is acidic. Okay, 0 to 7 is acidic, 7 to 14 is alkaline. Now, every week we see around 20-25 cancer patients. And one of the things that we realize, which is scientifically proven also, is that cancer cells grows only when the body is acidic. When the body is alkaline, cancer cell cannot grow. And that is something that we all have to understand, that we have to make our body alkaline, which is very, very important. Okay. Now has a pH or blood has a pH of around 7.35 to 7.45, which means your body tends to be on the alkaline side. Milk has a pH of around 6, which is acidic in nature. One of the worst things in this planet is cold drink, pH 2 to 3, highly acidic. So when we have more packet foods, junk foods, deep fried, your body will be more acidic. But when we are eating more plant foods, your body tends to be on the alkaline side, which is very, very important. Okay. uh, Another thing that we really need to understand this time is that habits is very, very important. So once a while you have wrong things, it's okay, your body will manage. But day to day we should not have things that make our body acidic, which is not a good idea. Right. Next. So intermittent fasting. Do you understand what is intermittent fasting? Another very, very important concept, which I really want people to understand. So what is intermittent fasting? You have your dinner, say at 8 o'clock in the evening. Next day morning, you start at 8 o'clock, right? So you finish your dinner at 8, morning you start at 8 o'clock. So that is minimum 12-hour intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is something that we all should practice, because when we are doing intermittent fasting, your body is not digesting, your body is cleaning the system. So I urge all of you to try and finish your dinner by around 8:30. It's not good to it's not good to have late dinners. So latest you should try and finish is around 8 o'clock or latest 8:30. And after that, don't eat anything for minimum 12 hours. Next day morning you should start your day with around 8:30. This is a very good way to ensure that the body is alkaline, and also you're cleaning your system regularly. Next. So intermittent fasting has a lot of benefits. So when it comes to cleaning the system, it can helps you lose some weight. It is very good for diabetes. People who have blood pressure, it is very good for blood pressure as well. It helps in good aging. It also helps lowering inflammation and improving brain function, right? So a lot of advantages of practicing intermittent fasting. Now, few things that we should be consuming on a regular basis is for good health is green leafy vegetables, drumsticks, as I mentioned, onions, cruciferous vegetables, papaya, pomegranate. So these are very, very good. There's something known as nuts and seeds. So flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. So these are very, very simple to consume, but excellent when it comes to health benefits. So for example, there is something known as flaxseed, which is Alsika beach. Now, so many studies have shown that 2 to 3 spoon, so many studies have shown that 2 to 3 spoon of flaxseed powder is very good to prevent and reverse breast cancer. So many studies have shown that 2 to 3 spoon of flaxseed powder is very good to prevent and reverse high blood pressure. Okay, so it is just our habits, that is something that we really need to focus on, and rest everything is just a byproduct of our good habits. Next is again few things that you should avoid. Red meat, number one cancer causing. Okay, number one cancer causing is red meat, so that is something that we should really not consume on a day-to-day basis. Maida, packet food, deep fried, white sugar. These things we should try and avoid and not have on a day-to-day basis. Next, a few common problems that a lot of women keep suffering these days is bloating. Bloating after the, a lot of people tell us that after lunch and dinner, we feel heavy, we feel bloated. So one common solution is, there's something known as elaichi. Okay, so just chew one elaichi after lunch and dinner, and it really helps in bloating. Or another solution is ajwain. So just take 1 teaspoon of ajwain, boil that into 1 glass reduced to half, and then just drink that after your lunch and dinner. Really helps for your bloating. Next is hormonal imbalance. These days PCOD, PCOS, thyroid, so many of these common issues, but one of the root cause for these issues is hormonal imbalance. Yeah? So a lot of things help in hormonal imbalance, and one of them is coriander seeds. So 2 spoon of coriander seeds overnight soaked. Okay, morning, whenever you get up, first thing in the morning, just boil that, no, just strain that and drink that 1 glass of coriander water. Okay, so there is something known as gota dhania, overnight soaked, 1 glass of water. Morning, you're just supposed to strain and drink that 1 glass of water. You don't have to boil it or anything. That is excellent when it comes to hormonal balance. Okay, next. Back pain, again, a lot of women keep suffering with a lot of common back pain, that cannot stand for a while and work because of back pain and other issues. So another very common and easy remedy for back pain is chia seeds. Chia seed is excellent when it comes to different health benefits. Okay, very good for diabetes, very good for thyroid, excellent for energy levels, omega 3, very good for constipation. So one of the things that it really helps also is in back pain. Okay, we see a lot of people improving very quickly when they consume chia seeds. So how are you supposed to have chia seeds? So just take 2 teaspoons of chia seed, soak it in water, minimum 15-20 minutes, and have it anytime in the day. At least soak it for 15-20 minutes. It really helps. So that will really help you in terms of your back pain. Next, water retention. This is another very common problem, is swelling and water retention that we keep observing in a lot of people. Now, for water retention, one very easy solution is barley seeds. So barley is very easily available today at our homes, and 2 spoon of barley seeds overnight soak. Morning, again, just strain and drink this water. Very, very good for swelling and water retention. Okay, next. Okay, energy level and fatigue. So there are a lot of things. See, when we eat, when we keep our body alkaline, our energy levels improve drastically. Okay, so one of the things that can really help, apart from eating clean and eating plant foods, is a simple juice, which is apple and tomato juice. So you just take one apple and one tomato, and you can just fresh apple, fresh tomato, and all you're supposed to do is just make a juice out of that, and that juice can really help in energy levels, and also a lot of other gut related benefits because of the nutrient value which is there in apple and tomato. Next, skin issues, especially acne. Acne is very, very common that we see with a lot of people, but otherwise psoriasis, eczema, we see in a lot of patients. And a few things that can really help in skin related issues is, there's something known as fresh amla. Amla is very common. So fresh amla juice is very, very good for your skin. So what you're supposed to do is just make a juice out of that fresh amla juice, and all you're supposed to do is just have it anytime in the morning or in the evening, but ensure that it is empty stomach. That will help us with more benefits, right? So fresh amla juice any time in a day, once a day, very, very good for skin. Again, weight loss is another one of the things that a lot of women keep aspiring, and which is again has to be a byproduct of good health, as mentioned in the beginning. So a lot of things help, but another common thing that can help for weight loss is, empty stomach fruits. I mean, this is one of the simplest thing which I've seen is empty stomach fruit is very, very good when it comes to good health and weight loss. So start your day with whatever seasonal fruits you can. So be it papaya or even mango is okay. But empty stomach fruits is an excellent way to achieve good health and weight loss. Gut health, gut is excellent when it comes to our overall health. In fact, so many studies have shown from mood to energy levels to our overall health depends heavily on our gut health. So one of the excellent prebiotic for our gut health is apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is something which is again very, very easily available. All you're supposed to do is just consume this apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in in 1 glass of water, 30 minutes, 30 minutes before your lunch or dinner is excellent way to increase your gut health. All right. Next, so basic do's and don'ts that we should follow is fruit. As I told you, empty stomach fruit is excellent for good health, and try and choose variety of seasonal fruits. All right. Okay, seasonal is very, very important, so try and choose seasonal fruits, but focus on empty stomach only fruits. Another next is green vegetables. Potato is not bad. You like potato, you can have potato, but again, focus on adding green vegetables in your meals, because green vegetables is something which is, when it comes to health benefits, it has enormous health benefits. So that is one thing which I really want you to add in your routine. So any green vegetable is fine. Third, meals doing while gadgets. So especially a lot of people, with iPad, especially for kids, iPad, and they are at a lot of screen time while eating food, which is not a good idea. Next is again things like milk products, maida, packet food, deep fried. Try and minimize and avoid, as mentioned. And last is at least 30 to 60 minutes of being active in the day. It can really help. Next, 4 pillars of good health. This is one thing which I really want all of you to understand and remember. Is if you want to be fit, fine, healthy in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, the habits are very, very important. So there are these 4 pillars of good health, which I want all of you to focus on. And these 4 pillars of good health is something that will really ensure that your everyday habits, is actually keeping you healthy. So number one is food and nutrition. Number two is physically being active. Okay. Number three is good quality sleep. Our sleep is extremely important when it comes to our overall health and immunity. So that is something which we should really focus on is our sleep quality. And last is emotional health. So no matter what, emotionally we should be very, very happy. Okay, so if all of us every single day, if all of us focus on these 4 important pillars of good health, then every day what we are doing is we are gradually improving our health, and every day we are becoming closer to what we intend to achieve in terms of creating good health or reversing disease. So my very important message to all of you is that every single day I want all of you to focus on these 4 important pillars of good health, because if you every day focus on these 4 things, then over a span of 2 months, 4 months, 5 months, you will be able to reverse your disease and create good health, which is very, very important. Right? So thank you so much everyone for understanding this concept. I really want you to apply this knowledge in your day-to-day life so that you can achieve a lot of positive health benefits, and you can see your lifestyle diseases getting reversed and you becoming medicine free and achieving good health. So thank you so much once again, everyone, for understanding this. I can take some questions, but if before that, if there is any announcement, we can do that. And otherwise, I'll take some questions.
Yes, I have an announcement.
Please go
Hello,
ahead.
thank you so much for listening to us. We hope that we were able to help you to understand about your health. So we have a WhatsApp group where we constantly share updates and remedies of health issues. So I'll be sharing the link in the chat box. So you can just click on the link and you'll be the part of the group. Thank you. Sir, you can take over.
Yes, we can start with the questions, please. Yeah.
Uh,
Anyone has
good,
questions, they can please unmute and ask.
yeah, good afternoon, doc.
Good afternoon.
You said joint pain is a lifestyle disease.
Sorry?
You said joint pain is a lifestyle disease.
Correct.
So you think by changing the food habits, the reduction in the gap
Oh yes.
in the
In
can
fact, in fact, we get a lot of people who have different kinds of joint pain, knee pain, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and we see by eating right, gradually their pain is getting reduced significantly. Their arthritis is improving significantly, and in fact, in Calcutta, so where our clinic is, we have a office in our first floor. So it's a bungalow setup. So we have an office in our first floor, and there is no lift. All right. So earlier people used to, before lockdown, when I used to physically see a lot of people used to come who could not walk properly or could not climb stairs. So I used to go down and sit with them because there was a sitting area downstairs. Also, I used to meet them and see them downstairs. And those very people, after 4, 5, 6 months of changing habits, changing their food, eating more plant foods, they used to become better, and they used to climb that one floor and come up and meet me. You know, so with right food, beat arthritis, beat joint pain, beat rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease, all of that, we see improvement. Now, depends from person to person. Someone might be able to completely reverse it, or someone might be able to do 70-80%. That is case to case basis on how severe the problem is. But it definitely joint pain and arthritis and knee pain and all of that completely can become better when we have right plant foods. So we spoke about drumstick. Now, drumstick is one food which really helps a lot in joint pains. Okay, there is something known as white sesame seed. Safed til, white sesame seed. It is number one source of calcium in this planet is white sesame seed. Very, very good for joint pain. Papaya, raw papaya, ripe papaya is very, very nice. Anjeer, dry fruit anjeer, figs. Lot of calcium. Very, very good for joint pains. Okay. There is something known as methi dana. Methi dana is very easily available in most homes. Methi dana helps a lot to reduce joint pains also. So you just boil jeera, tulsi, pudina, methi dana, and you drink that concoction. It is very, very good for reduction in joint pains. Yeah. So there are a lot of things which can help, but yes, definitely it can become better.
Thank you, doc. Thank you, doctor.
Karan sir, there are a few questions in the chat bot also. There are 2 questions.
So any combination of fruits? Yeah, that's a very good question. Fruits and food should never be together. Okay, fruits and food should never be together. So, for example, a lot of people have the habit morning when they'll have breakfast, they'll have papaya and they'll have poha together. Not a good idea. They both are fine, but you have papaya first, you give an hour gap, and then have poha. But don't mix your fruit and food. This is one common mistake we see with a lot of people. All right, another thing. So yeah, what about red wine? So Dipali ji, red wine is comparatively okay, but again, once a while, not on a regular basis. Okay. So no, there is no blood test to measure whether the body is alkaline or acidic. There are a couple of saliva tests and which are there, which you can order online and you can do that. But there is no test as such which can measure. However, more important than getting into the test, the idea should be to eat more plant foods and to ensure that your body is maintaining a good pH. See, always your blood pH will be between 7.34 and 7.45. उसके बीच में ही blood pH होगा. But when you are eating more acidic foods, your body has to work more to bring it back to balance. That is, ऐसा नहीं है that you will test and you will be acidic. It doesn't happen like that. So when you eat more plant foods, your body will not have to work so much to maintain that pH level, which is alkaline. All right. So that is something which is very, very important. So the technical word here is homeostasis. Your body always have to be in homeostasis, which is very, very important. Coffee or tea is harmful. Absolutely yes. Jagdeep, tea and coffee are something which will not do any good to us. So once in a while it is okay, but regularly you should not have it. So as I told you, a better option is, you have jeera water. So instead of chai patti or a coffee, you put 1 teaspoon jeera. You put tulsi, pudina, and you boil that. You reduce that 1 glass into half. Put that into a glass or a cup of thick cup, and then you have it like your tea. All right. Now, anyone who has gas or acidity problem, you can add 1 spoon of salt and half spoon of ajwain. A little bit ajwain and 1 spoon of salt. So jeera, tulsi, pudina, salt, and ajwain. This is excellent for gas acidity. Okay.
Mrs. Kandla has a question. Kandla ma'am, can you please speak up?
Yes, Karan, I'm not typing in a hurry. I have a few questions. I'll shoot them away at you one by one and let me have you address them, please. I've been very keen on trying the intermittent fasting issue, but I'm a very late sleeper. So if I were to have a dinner, say at about finish by 8:30 perhaps, I may not sleep till 2 o'clock at night. So is it okay for me to have just a vegetable stock or a cup of soup or a cup of milk at say about 11:30? Or would that be like, making my intermittent issue a complete failure?
Okay, that's a very good point here. So there are a couple of learnings from this question for all of us. So first and foremost, we know milk is not a good idea. We have understood, right? Because a lot of injections and hormones which are there in today's milk. So milk today is not milk, what it was 100 years back. Now, so there are two parts to this. Irrespective of whether intermittent or no intermittent, sleeping at 2 o'clock is not a good idea. Okay. So there are a lot of things that we can do to ensure that we start sleeping on time. Now, when do people get sleep? People only get sleep when in the right time and in the right quantity, sleeping hormones are released. So therefore, people who come from America, 2-3 days, they are able to sleep according to that time zone because their sleeping hormones are released according to that time zone.
So I need to reset my circadian rhythm, basically.
You've improved that. And how can we do that? By if your sleeping hormones like melatonin, which is a sleeping hormone, if it is released in the right time and in the right quantity, we will get good sleep. So the first thing that you should really work about is that how can we bring this 2 a.m. sleep to maybe 12 o'clock, 11:30? That will be excellent. And there are a lot of things that can help. I'll tell you 5 things that will help you in better sleep.
Okay. I have a few more questions. I'll wait my turn. Karan, if you find, Deepika, if you find there are other people having some questions, let's carry on with them and you can come back to me later on. I have 3-4 more.
Okay.
So number 1, there is something known as chamomile tea. Okay, chamomile tea is like a green tea, which is very, very good for sleep. And so evening around 4:30, you can have chamomile tea, which is very good for sleep at night. Number 1. Number 2, there is something known as pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds have good amount of zinc and good amount of tryptophan. When tryptophan and zinc are combined, it makes serotonin, which your body converts into melatonin, a sleeping hormone. So 3 to 4 spoons of soaked pumpkin seeds in the daytime is also very, very good for sleep. Number 3, there is something known as left nostril breathing. All of you, please understand this. Left nostril breathing. Cover your right nostril. You breathe in from the left. Hold for 3-4 seconds and you breathe out from the left. So inhale from left, exhale also from left. Okay. When we take in air and oxygen from the left nostril, it goes to the right side of the brain, which activates parasympathetic nervous system. When our parasympathetic nervous system is activated, our stress and anxiety level go down, blood circulation improves, and quality of sleep also improves. All right. So chamomile tea, then you have pumpkin seeds, you have left nostril breathing. Number 4 is something known as pista. Pista is a dry fruit which is very easily available. So a handful of pista morning evening also contains lot of melatonin, which is a sleeping hormone. And number 5, there is something known as nutmeg powder or jaifal. Very, very commonly available in Indian homes, jaifal or nutmeg powder. These 5 things, nutmeg powder is also very good for sleeping hormone. So 1/4 teaspoon 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg powder evening time with any fruit is excellent for sleep, right? So when you add these 5 things gradually and try and sleep early within a month, you will definitely see that you are sleeping at 11:30, 11, 12 o'clock like that. So that is the step number 1. Once you have improved your sleep, because that is very important for good health, that you should sleep on time because our hormonal balance is attached to good sleeping timing. Once you have achieved that, then you should try and ensure that 12 hours you are able to do minimum intermittent fasting. So again, if you eat anything around 11, 12, it breaks your intermittent fasting, right? So you finish at around 8 o'clock, start in the morning at 8 o'clock. Suppose at times you're not able to sleep at 11, 12, you're sleeping at 1 and 2, try and not have anything. In case you have to have, try and have some nuts and everything. That day it won't be intermittent fasting, but that's okay. That's okay. But the idea is to improve your sleep timing and then try and 12, 13 hours of intermittent fasting, which will really help you. Okay?
Thank you.
Nitika, yes, please. Nitika, kindly unmute yourself.
Before Nitika asks her question, there is one very important question, a very important point someone has mentioned in the chat box. I'll highlight that.
Right.
So someone is writing, if a person suffers from acidity, is that person in danger for cancer or any other disease? Mr. David has written this. Thank you so much, David, for writing this, because I want to talk about this a little. ऐसा नहीं है that if anybody has acidity, that he or she has more chance of cancer. It is not like that. But let us understand the technical point. When we see a lot of cancer patients, there are few common things that we observe. That whoever is suffering different kinds of cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, when we see those people, there are few common things that we observe. One of them is years of 10, 15 years of constipation problem. Okay, years of lot of 80% people have years of gastric problems. So we cannot say, so it is not like that if you have constipation, you will have cancer. If you have gas, you will have cancer. Not like that. But the technical point here is that gas, gastric issue, acidity issue, and constipation, it means your body is not clean. It is the body is telling you, giving you signal that boss, your body is not clean. You have to make your body clean. So which means that when you are living with gastric acidity, constipation, it means that something inside is not okay and you are letting it grow. Imagine that constipation, your gut is not clear. You are letting it grow. You are making it worse. So that is not okay, right? So these are the common things that we observe. So the learning is what, Mr. David, that you should not live with gastric or constipation. Okay, you should ensure that your body is clean, your body is alkaline, your habits are nice, and there is no reason why you should live, why anyone should live with gastric constipation. So I was just talking to a patient. So there's a liver cirrhosis patient. So he has completed 1 month with us. So I was doing a normal call with him this morning. And he has enrolled for 6-7 months. So in 6-7 months, he'll become much better. But when today morning I was just talking to him, you know what he told me. So in 1 month, he's doing pretty fair. He's doing good. He has lost 2.5-3 kgs. He was feeling very nice, which is very important. He told me today morning that, sir, it has been 1 month and following this, so we have changed and told him to do few other things in the second month. So he told me that, sir, one thing, I had years of constipation, gastric problem. In last 1 month, it has not bothered me. This means that body is cleaning from inside. That is very important. Okay. And we have seen in so many people, years of gastric acidity problem, it can actually go away if we start doing basic things right. Okay. So thank you so much for taking that question. Another is doctor said diabetic people should not eat sweets, artificial sweets. Very true. We should not have sweets and artificial things, but they should also restrict on natural fruits. No, natural fruits have something known as fiber, which is very important, right? So you can have fruits. In fact, we ask a lot of people who come to us with diabetes to have fruits, even mango, but there is a way to have it. Mango you should have as a fruit in the morning, not you should put sugar and milk and have amras. That is not okay. Have it as a fruit in the morning and it is absolutely okay. Yes, Nikita, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, hi sir, this is Nitika. I want to know about the acid reflux problem I have. I have some acid reflux problem, how to get rid of it from natural remedies and this acid problem.
5 things, Nikita ji. If you do these 5 things, within 15 days, your reflux will disappear. 5 things. Okay.
I am on I have to take medicine every day for that.
15 days, you will not need the medicine. Okay. So first and foremost, avoid. So concept is what? Avoid bad things and add right things. Very simple. What will trigger more reflux, more gas, acidity, reflux? You avoid that. And you add things that will reverse it. Okay. So avoiding is what? 4 things. Number 1, milk product. Completely stop milk product. Tea, coffee, chena, whatever. Number 2, maida, bread, biscuit, Maggi. Maida is not nice for stomach. Number 3 is deep fried. Okay. And number 4 is packet food. These 4 things will maida, packet food, talawa. These 4 things will do you bad and not do any good. Okay. So first you stop these 4 things for 15-20 days. Simple.
What we can have instead of milk in the morning?
I'll tell you everything. So first you have to stop these 4 things. Clear? Hello? Are you there, Nikita ji?
Yes, sir, you can go on because I think many of us are facing this problem.
Okay. So anyways, if she's listening, so you avoid these 4 things. Number 1, step number 1. Step number 2, there is something known as fermented rice. Anyone has heard about it? Fermented rice. Also,
No, sir.
locally it is known as in Orissa, Bengal, in local language they call it panta bhat. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir. We haven't heard it.
Okay. I think Nikita ji is back now. She's joined. Nikita ji, are you there?
Yeah, sir.
Super. So first step is you avoid those 4 things. Okay. Milk product, maida, packet food, deep fried. Simple.
Right.
Okay. You have tea in the morning?
Yeah, I have tea in the morning. Half cup.
So you avoid these things. Okay, completely. No tea from tomorrow. Once you get better, once you tell me that you don't have any reflux, completely no problem of reflux, both of us will have tea together. Okay. But first you should stop that for a while and become better. So you avoid those 4 things. Now what will you have that will reverse it? There is something known as fermented rice. Okay. Now what is fermented rice? Understand very clearly. Simple 3-4 things. Whoever has gas, acidity, constipation, or reflux problem, please understand this. So we eat a lot of rice, right? So dal chawal hamare ghar mein banta hai. Rice we eat.
Right.
Cooked rice. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is you take 2 spoons of cooked rice. जो हम दाल चावल मिक्स करके खाते हैं, एक 2 स्पून ऑफ कुक्ड राइस, उसको 1 ग्लास पानी में आप 2 चम्मच राइस, कुक्ड राइस को डालें. Okay. Take 2 spoon cooked rice, cook that into 1 glass of water.
Right.
So overnight soak. Morning, whenever you get up, first thing in the morning, you will drink that 1 glass of water and you will have that 2 spoons of cooked rice which were soaked overnight. Very simple. This is known as fermented rice. This is excellent probiotic. Okay. Excellent probiotic. It is amazing for gut health, for constipation, for gas, for reflux. Works like wonder. Number 1.
But I don't have, sorry to interrupt, sir, but I don't have constipation. I have, like, early in the morning, I have to.
It's okay. Even if you don't have constipation, I'm saying this works for all of this. Okay. So you have fermented rice first thing in the morning. It is very, very good for your reflux. Point number 1. Point number 2, the kala that I told you, you can note it down. Jeera, tulsi, pudina, soft, ajwain, and you can add 1 elaichi. Okay. So you have this concoction as your morning tea. Instead of your morning tea, you have jeera, tulsi, pudina, soft, ajwain, elaichi. You boil this, 1 glass reduced to half, छान के चाय के कप में डालेंगे, and you have this morning evening kala. Okay. Instead of morning evening, instead of tea, you have this kala. This is very, very good for reflux. Okay. Number 3, after your lunch and dinner. First is fermented rice. Second is this kala. Number 3, after your lunch and dinner, you have 1 elaichi. Elaichi will also help a lot in digestion and your reflux will be much better. Okay. Number 4, empty stomach fruit and papaya compulsory. So papaya, every day you have as a fruit. With that you can have pomegranate, you can have banana, any 1 or 2 fruits, but papaya compulsory. You want to have mango, you have mango, but papaya compulsory. Okay, empty stomach. So you start with fermented rice, then you have your kala, jeera water, then you have your fruits, empty stomach, and papaya compulsory. With papaya, no other food. So papaya, mango, only fruit. So with fruits, no other food. Okay. After lunch and dinner, you will have elaichi. Okay.
Right.
That is number 4. And last thing also that you can do, it will help a lot, is raw papaya soup. Kacha papita hota hai?
Anji.
Soup aap lijiyega. That is also very, very good. So maybe what time you will take? You can take it before dinner, or your fruit is in the morning. Uske 1.5 ghante baad you can have raw papaya drumstick soup also. Very, very good for stomach. If you do these 5 things for 15-20 days, and if you remove those 4 bad things, milk, maida, packet food, tala hua, after 15 days, you will not need the medicine for sure.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We can take one more last question.
Sir, then so I will ask you one thing. One question is there in the chat board, but then yes, let's take that first.
So about now people asking about diabetes. It is good to give milk to kids before going to bed. So Dipali ji, let us understand, any mammal, human being or animals, when do they have milk? They only get milk when they are pregnant. Correct? When cow is pregnant, they get milk. When human beings are, when human beings are lactating mothers, pregnant mothers, they get milk. So mother's milk, number 1 in this planet. But last 20, 30, 40 years, milk consumption has gone up so much. Entire year cows are not pregnant. So they are being injected with a lot of hormones, estrogen, a lot of man-made milk. Every time you have milk, tea, coffee, all of that, you get a lot of these hormones inside, which is not a good idea. So again, so answering your question, Dipali ji, so if you have pure cow milk, then you can give to your kids, or else you should avoid, because the milk today is not the milk that it was. So the better option, another option, if there is no pure cow available, if you don't have an access to that, then also what you can give instead of that is almond milk, coconut milk, and plant-based milk, which are also very, very easy to make at home, free from any injection hormones and all, right? Perfect. Thank you so much, Deepika ji. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your attention and participation. If you have more questions, you can please write to us and reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to help you. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Thank you so much.
Karan sir, before ending the webinar, I want to ask you that since, sir, are you listening? Yeah. Sir, today we took this webinar, and I think I don't need to say what all we've learned, but how frequently is Mr. Karan Kakkad available for the other webinar to remind us about all these things?
We can plan one in every couple of months or every quarter on different subjects, so
Great.
that we are aware of what is. See, right knowledge is very, very important.
Right. So now I also got to know one more thing, और मैं बाकी members से भी share करूँगी. I think Mr. Bajaj and Ambanis are consulting you, and I think after consulting you, they became Bajaj and Ambanis because it was more of a lifestyle change, and they were, I think, able to concentrate more on their work and everything else. So I think even we will be able to perform better after this session.
No, thank you so much. But actually, they were Bajaj and Ambani earlier.
Earlier also.
It's just been 2 years that.
Yeah, because you don't look that old, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Karan sir. And thank you all the members who have attended the webinar. And I am really grateful to Dr. Richa Ranjan. Richa ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Richa Ranjan ma'am, so she is the president for the Wiki, that is the Human Rights Council. So I had announced earlier also, ma'am, you were not logged in
Yeah.
at that time. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
welcome you again, and thanks a lot for this for joining the webinar along with your team.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really knowledgeable session. I heard everything when I joined after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was very good session. Okay,
Very
thank you.
And
Thank
then is Sanya still with us? Sanya ma'am, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So Sanya ma'am, thank you so much for initiating this webinar. She is a part of Karan Kakkad's team. So I would like to thank you for everything.